Hey y'all, welcome back to the Smoke Dungeon. DB here, and today it's just you, me, and a little Tarawa 1943, or as I like to call it, press your luck, no whammies, when do we stop? First thing I'll say is if you aren't familiar with the Battle of Tarawa back in 1943, you need to go watch right now. Just pause my video and go watch the Marines at Tarawa. It is a film from 1943 done by combat photographers who were embedded with the Marines. And it is some of the realest, craziest, World War II stuff you'll see. And it's got that dope 1940s narrator voice to it, where it's like almost like, nah, see, we're attacking the Japanese, that kind of deal. So go watch that. It's about like 15 minutes long, maybe, and come back and then just put in the comments, thank you, DB. And if you've seen it, that's cool. Just keep watching my video here. So recently this game got a reissue, a reprint, and there's a smaller version of it. This is the original, came out in 2021. Like all Worthington games, the components are top-notch, absolute bangers. You do have to sticker the blocks, but you know DB likes that. So when this game first came out, I played it a couple of times and was like, man, it's not really what I wanted. It was almost too quick and too light in its tactical aspects, I guess. I'm not really sure if it would be strategical or tactical, but I guess tactical, because it's more abstract, right? Because you don't have like, oh, these are, Marines heavy weapons, these are mortar dudes over here, or the Japanese have this. It's just they're all the same, right? And the variation is given to you by cards. So the object of the game is to seize the island of Tarawa with the Marines, okay? This is based upon the historical setup. There's an alternate setup. And what happens here is it's card driven. So as the Marines, you'll take one action, and that action can be move, attack, regroup, reinforce, or to rotate, which would be to like swap these dudes with these dudes, kind of rotate a battalion. Reinforce, you really are only going to do, I think, once or twice, because you only have 2 reinforcement battalions. Unless there's a weird card in there, I forget. So, but where this game really shines, it's almost like a resource management protecting your own assets and knowing when to push. And that is the part that allows for the replayability for this game is insane. Because it really can, like, honestly, this game can end after one turn, where you can like get right to the very end and then still lose. Each time you take an action with your dudes, you're gonna reduce their cohesion. Once they get into this orange level of cohesion, which is 5 out of 12, there'll be a chance they can be exhausted. And if you're exhausted, you can't do shit except regroup. And that's essentially that. When you attack is the real, I think, is where the real genius of this game is. So as the Marines, you'll normally roll 5 dice when you attack. Sometimes you'll roll more due to, like, a card might be aerial support or naval bombardment, those kind of things. And they're abstracted in that they'll just add additional dice and stuff like that. But you'll roll your dice, and you're looking for pairs of 5s and 6s. And every time you attack, you will reduce your cohesion by 1. So, but you can re-roll all your dice by reducing your cohesion a further 1. Well, not all your dice. If you roll 4s, that you can't re-roll them. They're just like taken out of the dice pool. So what happens is you'll be looking at the map and you'll be like, these dudes really need to get off the beach. I only need one more 5, I can re-roll those dice to get a 5. And then you start chasing 5s. Well, you know what happens, right? You don't get no goddamn 5s. And then all of a sudden, your dudes are exhausted. There's still Japanese there. You don't know what to do. You know what I mean? And that's where the game becomes like an absolute banger. It's almost, at least with me, it becomes self-defeat. You defeat yourself, right? Even though it is a solo game and you're really playing by yourself. It's your own urges that you gotta keep in check. And that's where this game shines. And recently, you know, the kids were away with the grandparents and the wife was traveling for work, and I was going through the dungeon, and this one was sitting on the shelf, and it plays pretty quick. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it off and I'm gonna play it. Well, you know what happened? I've been playing it for 2 weeks straight. Every night when I come home from work, I give it at least 1 run. Sometimes I've given it 2 or 3 runs. So yeah. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't know if the reissue, they changed anything. I doubt they did, but who knows. So real quick, I'm gonna just play like 1 or 2 turns, and so y'all can see that I'm a crazy gambling addict when I just try and chase 5s and 6s, dude. It's totally reminds me of Press Your Luck, that game show from like the early 80s that my grandmom used to watch, where it was like all these TVs with prizes in them and the people had to stop on which TV was lit up. And then sometimes there'd be like a little cartoon dude in there and he'd be like, I stole all your money. That shit was jive dope when I was a kid. Loved it. It reminds me of that because you'll get a good roll and you'll be like, yo, this is a good roll, but 1 more 6 will turn this into an absolute banger and we're coming for the airfield. And then you'll re-roll. And you won't get no 6. And you'll be like, well, whatever, I can re-roll again. And you do it again and again and again. And then, yeah, you just shit the bed. So, yeah. So let's play a few turns, dude. All right? And then that way you can judge whether, you know, I'm an insane gambling fool or, you know, or if this is the game for you or not. So the way the game starts, this is set up, the historical setup, by the way. There is an alternate setup where you can set up and attack these beaches here, Black Beach 1 and 2. But, you know, DB, I'm a historical cat, so I'm going to stick to this. So the very first thing we do is these Japanese units, each unit is a 3-block thing. So I guess I said unit, but they're really battalions, I believe. So each battalion will get to shoot out. Normally, Japanese dudes roll 3 dice when they shoot. However, the first turn of the game, they get to roll 4. I'm gonna try and keep the dice in this side of the box so y'all can see them, because I think it's in frame. If not, tough one. So first shot over here. Oh man. So a 6, 2 4s, and a 3. So we have our fire table here. 6, remove 1 USMC marker. 4, reduce UMC marker cohesion by 1. And then 3 for the Japanese is re-roll this dice immediately. They have a different attack table for shooting and for bonsai attacks. And then the Marine attack table is over here, yo. So a 2. Cancel any 6 rolled. So the 2 knocks out that 6, but we do have 2 4s. So 2nd Marine Regiment, 3rd Battalion is going to lose 2 cohesion. Boom, boom. All right. Next one down. 2nd Regiment, 2nd Battalion. So 3, re-roll this dice immediately. 3, re-roll it immediately. 2 cancels out a 6. 1 is no effect. And then a 4 is a reduced cohesion by 1. I will tell you this much, y'all. This is looking really good for the Americans. Although I probably just jinxed the old 8th Regiment, 2nd Battalion. No effect. Reroll immediately. bunch of 4s, 2 4s, and a 5. Those are all going to reduce cohesion. So these dudes go down by 3. That's not that good. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. So that is the initial start of the game. Now, it's the Marine Corps' turn. So, we're going to go like this. Normally, you only get 1 action. But I started the game with 3 cards, and one of them is Command Coordination. I can activate 2 additional battalions this turn for a total of 3. Each battalion must complete all its actions before the next one goes. So, we're going to go 1, 2, and 3, more than likely. They're going to attack. So, Marine Corps rolls 5 dice on a basic attack. So, we'll start with the second, third. So, we reduce them by 1 because they're making an attack. And we roll our dice. And then this is where it gets a little tricky. So, we're looking for 6s, pairs of 6s, and pairs of 5s. We'll remove a Japanese block. 4s cannot be re-rolled. They're immediately moved out of the dice pool. 3 automatically gets re-rolled. And then for a pair of 2s, we reduce our cohesion by a further 1. And then if we roll the old serpents, dude, one of our guys is dead. So let's go. Well, that's not too bad. All right, so the 5s we're going to keep. The 4 we pull out. The 3. Okay. So, now here's the deal. The 6 and the 5 that are unpaired, they're not going to do anything for me. But I could reduce the cohesion of the unit by 1 to re-roll both of those. And press our luck right off the beginning. The only problem is, the 2nd and the 3rd is already down to 9, right? But you know what old Jack Burton says? When the rain's coming down like poison arrows. Roll them bones! 66. Boom. There we go. Solid. So the pair of 6s and the pair of 5s. Strong. All right. But you'll see there's still Japanese on the beach, dude. So these blocks will never move, by the way. I'm almost positive they don't move. There might be a weird card. And these guys will never move into here as long as there is a block there. So, next one. Second, we reduce in cohesion by 1. Boom. Roll them dice. No 4s, so no dice are pulled. But these 2 get re-rolled immediately. Uh-oh. All right, so we're definitely going to want to re-roll these. So the 1s would be one of my guys dies, and the 2 would be I reduce a cohesion. So instead, we're just going to reduce the cohesion by 1. And re-roll these 4. We'll leave the 5 in there. Okay, this is not good. The 4 cannot be re-rolled, so we'll pull that one out. Pair of 2s reduces cohesion. The 3 immediately gets re-rolled to a 4, which means it can't be re-rolled. You know what? I'm going to just take the cohesion loss and call it a day there. So they are stymied on the beach. And then our last one. Going to be the 8th Regiment, 2nd Battalion. Let's get a little good shake on them, you know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, splash in the box. All right. Pair of 6s, and then we got a 1, 2, 3. So the 3 is re-rolled to a 5. These dudes, what are they looking at for cohesion? They're already down to 9, too. So, whatever, dude. We're putting them down to 8. We got to press the advantage here. Oh, shit. 4 can't be re-rolled. 6 is nothing. So, because a 6 and a 5 need to be paired. So, they're just going to be 1 hit. Boom. All right. Not the best, but not the worst. You know? I just got to double check. Yeah. All right. So, then it would be Japan's turn. Japan flips a card. Uh-oh. Banzai. If the Marines control 1 or 2 island, I almost said Italian positions. 1 or 2 island positions. Banzai attack up to those 2 occupied positions. Otherwise, conduct 2 fire attacks. The attack comes from the lowest priority adjacent to Japanese positions. Okay, so that means the Japanese conduct 2 fire attacks. So it's going to be from here into here and here into here. So we'll start here. He's going to roll only 3 dice because they only get that 4th one on the first turn of the game. Uh-oh, Japan. Reroll the 3. What do I got there? A 4. All right, so Japan reduces the cohesion of these dudes by 1. That's these guys. They're down to an 8. And then these dudes blasting in here. 2 and a 6 cancel each other out, thank gosh. Reroll the 3, though, for a 4. Reduce their cohesion by 1. So you'll see already, 1 turn in a game, dude, we just played. In that amount of time. I haven't gotten anywhere, really. I will say, normally my American forces have taken casualties already, but you'll notice problematic, we're encroaching upon exhaustion areas. So, turn 2, draw up to 3 cards, an air support card. Okay, we're going to use that right away. So, our 1 action is going to be an attack here on Red Beach, and we're going to use air support, which adds 1 die to any battalion attack action. So it's going to be 6 dice, y'all. And that's a good thing about this game. They give you, even though normally you're only rolling 5, they give you 7 dice, which lets you, I think, roll up to the maximum. I think there's a card in here that gives you 2. I think that's shore bombardment or something. So, oh, come on, give me another 5. All right. So, the 2 5s are already going to reduce 1 Japanese block. The 4 cannot be re-rolled, and then these are nothing because they're not paired. So I'm going to save that roll. I'm not going to press the luck on it. Oh, I do have to reduce them by 1. I forgot to do that. Remember, you always have to do that. You got to reduce before you roll. So they just blasted him. Now, as part of the same action, since they destroyed him, they can move forward. So, it may move up, and then I can move these dudes for free into here. So these guys are going to go into here. And then these dudes move up into here. And that does not cost cohesion for either. So, and there's only 1 advance per attack. You can't, like, change shit together. So that was turn 2. That's super successful turn 2. Now that I own Red Beach 1, I can bring dudes in here onto Green Beach. That's like, it opens that up if I want to put those dudes there. So, Japan. Fire attack. Launch 1 fire attack against the highest priority UMC position and 1 fire attack against the UMC battalion with the lowest cohesion. Oh, wow. Okay. So they're going for the highest priority occupied position. So that's going to be these dudes. So we're going to shoot with these dudes into there. And then the lowest cohesion is also going to get hit. And that looks like it's going to be either the 2nd, 3rd, or the 2nd. So what we're going to do is we'll roll a dice since they're tied right now, just to see if that's going to be them getting attacked again or them. And we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, so it's them again. So, first Japanese fire attack is going to be here into here, and then it'll be these dudes into there. So these dudes. Uh-oh. Dude, double 1s. Remove 1 attacking Japanese marker. Dude, this could be like one of my best showings ever. Thank God it's on record. All right. These dudes shooting into here. Not nearly as bad. A 5 and a 4 reduce cohesion by 1. Oh, man. Okay. So, 1, 2. So they are now, if they want to perform an action, they're going to have to roll a die and get lower than that number. So it's not bad right now, but after I do like 1 or 2 more actions with them and they're down to like 3 or 4, you start to get screwed. So that's turn 2. Turn 3. Okay, none of my cards are really that great. I do have this one that lets me ignore 2 cohesion, so maybe we'll do that eventually. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and press onto the beach here. So that's gonna be my action. It's gonna be an attack with the 8th Regiment, 2nd Battalion. So we're gonna move them down to 7. Uh-oh. Bunch of 3s, y'all. They can all get re-rolled immediately. The 4 comes out. So the 3s we re-roll for freeze. There's another one. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. A 1, 2, and a 6. So we're gonna reduce by 1 more. Boom. To re-roll these 2, because we need a hit here, dude. Okay. 6 and a 2. Since they're not paired, that's nothing. So no good. So waste of a turn right there, pretty much, right? We just lost a bunch of cohesion. So back to Japan. Uh-oh. Sniper! Roll 1 die, attacking the highest priority USMC occupied position. Reduce the cohesion by the result of the die roll as follows. So it's gonna be here. So let's roll a die. This is the 2nd, 3rd. These dudes are already in trouble. 4. 2 lost and remove 1 tactics card of choice from your hand. Let's say we're gonna remove this Japanese bunker card, and then I am actually gonna play Colonel Shoup Leads the Way to ignore up to 2 cohesion loss. So it says due to a Japanese attack, and I would think that's what that is. So we'll ignore that. That's the end of that turn. Flipping some cards. What do we, ignore 1 marker lost due to a Japanese attack. Cannot play during the landing phase. Swap positions of 2 adjacent battalions or move 1 battalion to. This is a free move. Oh, wow. Okay. We're going to do this. So we're going to do dynamic command, and we're going to swap these dudes with these dudes. Right there. And then we're going to attack. We're going to attack here, up the beach. Oh, I gotta reduce. That's 2, 2, 1. That's these dudes. All right. So double 5s. That's something right there. I'm gonna reduce by 1 more to reroll this 2. Give me a 6. Shit. All right. We'll just take the 1 hit. That's enough. All right. See, now we're moving on. Game picks up pace. You know what I'm saying? Field of fire. Each UMC occupied position that is adjacent to 2 or more Japanese occupied positions is fired upon. The Japanese positions may fire at more than 1 U.S. occupied adjacent position for each Japanese position separately. Ignore if there are no applicable adjacent positions. Okay. So this one is adjacent to 2 or more Japanese units. So they're both gonna shoot here. So first one is gonna be these dudes. Good thing I swapped these boys out. Uh-oh, double 1s. These guys are the clowns. They have removed another one of their people, but a 5 will reduce their cohesion by 1. So he's down to a 9. All right, these dudes here, shooting over here. 5 and a 4, reducing cohesion by 2. Oof, 1, 2. All right. Marine turn. Draw a card. Air support. We're just gonna do an attack here The 2nd Battalion is going to reduce by 1. Come on, Red Beach 2. Come on. Give me some good rolls. This one was out of the box. So we're looking at 3 5s. The 4 can't be re-rolled. The 1, yeah, let's, oh man, they're, yeah, I don't really want to, he'll have to make an exhaustion check. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I won't re-roll that one. I'll just take the 2 5s and remove one of these Japanese guys there. And we'll wait till next turn because we can attack from this way and those dudes are not exhausted. So that way I'll be able to keep a little momentum, hopefully. All right, Japan, Japan, Japan. Fire attack. Launch 1 fire attack against the highest priority occupied U.S. mean and 1 against the battalion with the lowest cohesion. Uh-oh. Who's the lowest cohesion? 2nd, 3. He's immune to attack. What's the 1, 2? Is that a 7? 2, 2, is that a 6? Or that's 8, 2. So it's one of these two. 2, 2, or 8, 2. And then this one. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be here to here, and then him to there. So we'll start with this one. Let's see if he can roll double ones and kill himself again. Oh, snap. No, he ain't. He's going to remove 1 U.S. marker and then reduce cohesion by 2. I'm going to use this heroism card. Ignore 1 marker loss. But they are going to reduce cohesion by 2. 1, 2. All right. So those dudes will have to make an exhaustion check. They got to make one when they're reduced to that. So right away they have to make one. They're good. Because they have to roll under that number. Or equal to or under that number, actually. So a 5 or less right there. This Japanese attack here. Shakadoon. Double 2s. Cancel any 6, but a 5 reduces cohesion. So that's 8, 2. These dudes, they got to roll for exhaustion. They're good. All right. So, that was Japan. Draw me a card. Reinforcements. We don't really need that. So we want 1 attack. Let's go, let's go here. No. Let's go 2, 2. See, now this is where I gotta kind of figure out who I want to use. So yeah, we'll go 2, 2. He's gonna go down 1, and then he needs an exhaustion check. 5, he's good just for now. So 5 dice. Crack-a-doon, double 6s. That's what we need. One of these we have to re-roll right away though. This 3. Okay, good. Because if we roll the 2, I'd had to reduce my cohesion. So I'm not going to re-roll the dice. So he's destroyed. That allows these dudes to advance into here. And then these boys to follow him in. There we go. Making headway. Making headway. Japan. What do we got? Uh-oh. Infiltration. Move a Japanese cube from the infiltration box, which is right here, into the highest priority USMC controlled island position, which has less than 3 markers. The Japanese control the position until the infiltrating cube is eliminated. During the U.S. Marine turn, so there is, I gotta double check, because there is no open box. Basically what you do is if this one only had 2, you would put this guy in here, and it's like Japanese dudes infiltrating. And when this unit attacks, they have to attack the square they're in. But I believe normally there's a place for them to go because I've been getting my ass kicked. So I just want to double check here that on an infiltration card, they do not, Japanese can watch fire from the infiltration. Yeah, so I guess nothing happens, dude. That's what I was looking to see if there would be like an attack or something. We're gonna go air support. We're gonna use this. We're gonna come for the airfield, dude. We're gonna go. Actually, no, we're not. No, we're not. Let us try. So 2-2. These dudes are gonna try and regroup. They gotta make an exhaustion check first, though. Are you kidding me? 1 battalion. If the battalion is currently exhausted, make it immediate. If after the regroup can 6 or higher, back to not exhausted. Okay, so they're exhausted. Great. That was a shit. So, sniper, roll 1 die attacking, and it's gonna be these dudes. Let's see what happens. Oh shit. 6. 3 loss and remove 1 tactics card of choice. So we'll remove that one and then reduce the cohesion by 3. 1, 2, 3. When you can't reduce the cohesion any farther, you start losing blocks. So, I don't know if I was supposed to roll. I think that might have went off because it just moves him up to 3, which would put him at 5. Whatever. I'll do it next turn. Who cares? All right, we're not going to mess with them. But what we are going to do is blast these dudes so that we can bring reinforcements in this way. So, draw my card. Play an air support. Give me 6 dice. Let's bang these dudes up. 2, 1. Reduce. They're good, thankfully. Jeez. Oh, shit. All right. Oh, nice. Double 6s is all I needed. However, pair of 2s is going to reduce my cohesion by a further 1. And this one needs to be rerolled. No. All right. So they'll reduce by 1. Then they kill this dude. Smash. We are not going to move into there, though. Japan. Uh-oh. Bonsai. If I control 3 or more island positions, Bonsai attack against highest priority. If the U.S. controls 2 or more, then conduct 1 fire attack. Comes from the position that is the lowest priority. So it's going to be, these dudes are going to shoot over into here. 3s get re-rolled immediately. Another one gets re-rolled immediately. Jesus, how many 3s? So a 2. So that's just 1. Oh, these dudes. Uh-oh. Look at that. They're in trouble. So, that was Japan's turn. I would do, let's say, we would probably place a new wave. And we would go here. Bring some reinforcements in. So these dudes have entered the battle. Then it would go back to Japan, y'all. Fire attack. 1 against the lowest cohesion and 1 against the highest priority. Pretty sure they are one and the same. So it's going to be these dudes and these dudes shooting in there. So these guys first from the airfield. Oh, man. I'm going to do this. Heroism, which cancels 1 because it's going to force me to reduce cohesion by 2. But I can't. So I got to lose 2 blocks. This will ignore 1 of them. So 1 dies. First Marine casualty. Then these dudes are shooting at him. Oh, shit. I think that's all of them, dude. I don't have a way to save them. Because 6 kills one, and then the 4s reduce cohesion by another one. So these dudes are wiped out. Crack it down. 2nd Division, or 2nd Battalion, 2nd Regiment, under my man Colonel Amy. See you later, alligator. All right. No bueno. As you can see, things are getting bloody on Tarawa. All right. So, it would be the Marine Corps' turn. They would do this. Move these dudes onto the island. And daisy chain him into there. So this is the 6th. Who's in the front? The 6th first. And then this one reduces by 1 as well. We daisy chain them in there. Okay. Troop movement. Move 1 marker from position 8, if available, to the highest priority Japanese controlled position that has a vacant slot. Conduct a fire attack. So position 8 is going to be here. He's going to move. The highest priority is going to be here. So he's going to move here. And then you conduct a fire attack. So it's going to be there. Unless, is it just a normal fire attack? Because it will be there. Whatever. See, I played this game a bunch, and I like stuff like that. I still kind of go back and forth on. So we'll go down here. 3, re-roll it. 5. Cohesion by 2 and 1 marker. I got nothing that can save me. So that's the 8-second. 1, 2. We got to roll to see if we're exhausted. 3, that ties them. They're good. Nah, dog, they are ready to rock. Let's go, America. Fuck yeah. Let's do here, dude. Reduce by 1. Attack up Black Beach. Come on. Oh, oh, we got to re-roll that, though. We're going to reduce by 1 to re-roll those double 1s. 4, we can't do nothing with. 3, come on, we're looking for a 5. Nope. So double 6s is 1, though. So boom. Making some headway, y'all. Making some headway. Fire attack. Launch 1 fire attack against the highest priority. And 1 against the lowest cohesion. Our lowest cohesion. We can actually take this one off the board because they're dead. The lowest cohesion is going to be 2, 1. It's going to be these dudes. But there is nobody that can attack them because there are not arrows to them. So that's actually pretty good. So then it will be a shot out to these guys, though. So we'll do that one first, lowest, and then over here, it's highest priority position is going to be Green Beach is a 5. So these dudes are going to shoot there, and then these dudes are going to shoot out to sea. So out to sea on Red Beach 3. 2 cancels out a 6. 3 re-roll immediately. 2, nothing. So nothing over here. Here onto here, though. Reduced by 1. No effect. Re-roll. Uh-oh. Double 1s. Remove 1 attacking Japanese marker. These dudes are running into the wire. And then a 4 reduces them by 1. So they go down to, what's that? 8. They're good. They're good. America. We're going to come up the beach on these dudes. Gonna blast our way back in through there. Oh, hell yeah. 3's got to be re-rolled immediately, though. Oh, he's totally... We're smashing him, dude. Smashing him. Ba-boom. All right. And then they're going to move into there. And these dudes are going to advance into there. All right. So that's pretty much, you know, how it's working, dude. This is actually a very good game, but fire attack, it's going to be, they're going to shoot at these jokers again and then them. So let's do that one. Here into here. Cohesion by 1. 8-2. Where are they at? 8-2. Boom. They need an exhaustion check. They're good. I rolled a 1. Nice. And then these dudes. Oh, actually, it would be these guys, I think, shooting there. Because they can. There's an arrow there. 3 gets re-rolled immediately to a 2, which is nothing. So reduced by 1. All right. So then we go back to America. So you guys pretty much see how it goes. You see how this can be addicting and how it could go one way or the other very quickly. There's some other crazy things that affect it. Like there's special cards in here for destroyed communications or Admiral Shibakaze, him catching it, you know, super good. I dig it. I would encourage you to check it out. Hopefully the smaller version is like more travel-y and maybe cheaper, because I know this version of the game at one point in time got up to be quite expensive. I think I paid like 50 or 60 bucks for it when it came out, but I saw it online going for like 100, which is nuts because there's not really a lot to it if you think about it. But yeah, if you like dice rolling and chasing your own luck and infinite replayability, because there's more cards, you can make the game harder or easier based upon adding cards to this deck. And there's, what is it? There's like 3, I think there's 30 cards altogether for each side. And you either go 20, 24, or 30, I think. I think those are the 3. I forget what the hardest one is. I think it goes down to 20, which is insane. Because like I said, I've been playing the shit out of this game, and I think I won like minor victory maybe 2 times. Major victory was once, but it was like so ridiculous. I was just nonstop splashing 6s every other time I rolled the dice. So yeah, Tarawa, 1943. Check it out. More importantly, be good to one another. Do what you feel.